Hello and welcome. Today's topic is about conflict. Conflict beginning within, always begins within, but so does peace. And really the invitation is, well, what is going to be your focus today? Do we want peace or do we want conflict? And I think we see so much going on in the world today, don't we, in our individual lives and in the world at large. There's conflict everywhere and we try and fix it, just on an outside, external approach. And I think it's so important to turn your attention within, to recognize where there's that inner conflict, the inner state of separation where we have this ego self that we subscribe to and identify with, as opposed to pure presence, pure awareness. And when we start to connect with the inner presence that we are, there's a unified experience in that. There's a peace and a gentleness in that. And then that floods out into the world, and our experience of the world is very different. And I think we are much more able to act in a pure way, in a way that actually serves best for ourselves and also for everybody around us. And the events in the world as well are then influenced by this pure presence, which is such a gentle, peaceful, full experience. There's no conflict within that. And so recognizing when we're thinking and battling and how that informs the world around us, like there's a ripple effect if we're holding that conflict within us, and also if we're starting to focus on the peace within us, that also has a ripple effect. So it kind of becomes a choice, really. Are we going to be part of the solution or part of the problem? Because when you're looking at the world and seeing everything that's wrong with it, and maybe in order to put it right, it's a very honourable thing to do. But however, we're still focused on the wrongness, and what you focus on grows. So starting to clear that inner state of being, so you come back into a direct conscious recognition of peace that comes from the pure awareness, the pure presence within you, then that starts to inform your body, the state of your body. Your mind clears and stills, and that has a really powerful impact on the world around us. We start to get creative. So any of the challenges, any of the conflict, we start to see ways through that, past that. And sometimes just the conflict just resolves in the state of presence. It's quite remarkable, actually, to have this. It's almost like a different operating mode. I think I've said this before, because that's what it feels like to me. There's this battling, thinking mode of operation, and then there's this one of pure presence that's just so serene and so anchored in an endless state of peace that you're not looking for anything on the outside to give you that peace. So now I think there's a foundation in peace for us to be able to operate in the world, and that makes such a big difference. So the invitation is to recognize, to explore in your own experience where you're battling with yourself. I'm not sure you could do much about it. I know I certainly couldn't before I learned meditation. Meditation has given me the clarity and the recognition of where I'm making life hard, where I'm forcing against life, and it starts to tap you into the flow so that you then work with what's happening rather than trying to force a different experience to happen when it's just not ready to, and it's not like we have to put up with anything within this. I think when we tap into peace first, we're already fulfilled, we're already happy and content, and that then just enables us to be so much more creative and proactive in letting our actions and our words inform the world around us, to almost enliven that peace, not just in ourselves, but in everybody and everything around us. It's a very powerful thing, presence, and it's natural. We're intended to live from this mode of operation. We don't have to resort to staying entrenched in the thinking mind. There's nothing wrong with thinking, there's nothing wrong with thoughts. But we want to be master of our mind. We want to be able to let that peace emanate throughout everything rather than just thinking round in circles. And it takes a lot of energy to think. We don't realize that. I don't think, I know I certainly had no clue how much effort and the impact that thinking has on your body as well. It's like every thought that we identify with, it's putting pressure and tension on the body. And so, yeah, that affects our state of health, and it affects our emotional state of being. You know, we want to be in a state of peace rather than a state of anxiety. As you can imagine, how much more productive we are and effective in the world when we're living from a state of peace. Yeah, it makes a massive difference to address that conflict within and start to moving towards peace rather than away from conflict. So it's so much easier to move towards something. So see if that makes sense. And if you've got any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. It's so great to have more of a conversation. And if you find these videos useful, like and subscribe, and let me know, if you want me to talk about any particular topic, or if you have an opinion or a feeling or an experience similar to what I'm saying or in opposition to it. I'm always open to hear from everybody, and let this be an interaction rather than just me talking on videos. So thank you for listening and have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.